Hey folks, I'm back. Another day, another post. And today I thought I would just kind of like, I've been doing this work on my own. I've been writing about it, and I thought I'd just kind of bring it out. This is what I'm doing here. And so I'm reading this book called Worthy. It says boost your self-worth to grow your net worth. It's all about the combination, the connection between your self-worth and your financial patterns. And as financial sort of self-help cliche as that sounds, it's actually a real thing. And I'm doing the exercises, and I'm just finding that, like, oh my God, does this stuff go deep? It's like, I've done a lot of work around this area already. I've read Napoleon Hill, I've read Wallace Wattles, and several other financial sort of manifestation, law of attraction type books. But just being asked, think about your patterns, think about your complexes. So much stuff is coming up, and I'm just finding that it's a pretty phenomenally, I think I have a handle on it, and then I just keep typing. It's like I'll just keep typing, and new stuff comes out. Like, I'm finding that even things like, everybody, so obviously my finances have been affected by these patterns, but what I was realizing is that shame around money and a difficulty being honest about my financial situation wherever I was, from when I had resources to when I didn't have resources to now. Shame around money is something that doesn't just affect my finances, it affects my relationships, friendships. I was looking over my life and seeing how many of my friendships have been colored by, and generally, limited by, colored by, not in a good way, by a kind of unwillingness to be honest about myself financially, and not knowing how to even express desire, or much less even have desire, know what I'm really looking for. I didn't feel like I was entitled to have desire. So that comes out in all these funky ways in friendships and in relationships, and the way I've pursued my career, the way I've pursued music and theater and all these various kind of domains where I've done a lot of my work, has been deeply colored by this sense of, just not being allowed to have certain kinds of desires. I think, I never felt like I had a starving artist complex. That's a very sort of well-worn pattern that you see, and I think there's a fair amount of cultural awareness around that right now, that being a starving artist is no better than being a successful and happy and abundant artist. But at the same time, I definitely kind of was starving artist. I was always scraping by, and it was I very much had a limit on what I thought I could create and what I even thought about creating, And so I think I'm saying this mostly because, money and finances is an area that I definitely carry a lot of shame about, and a lot of, I have carried. I think I'm getting better, but it's one that still triggers me, and it's amazing. I'm only 1/3 of the way through this book, and I'm finding, as I do these exercises, I think okay, I've answered this question before. I've said this before. I know about this relationship with my mom. I know about this relationship with my dad. I know about, but then I write it down, and it leads to a new portal, and I'm like, whoa, okay, whole new thing going on there, and it's just kind of the rabbit hole that I'm down right now. And I think, again, kind of in line with a post I did a few days ago, the thing that I was just listening to another book by Monica Main, who she found, through a twist of fate, she found some extra chapters to Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. She's writing, so I'm listening to her book right now on Audible, and I've, like I said, I read Napoleon Hill, Wallace Wattles, a couple other people, and all of them say gratitude is where it's at. Gratitude is the ingredient in the mix that is simply indispensable. It's It's the stock that you make the soup from. It's everything. It's like, and just understanding that, and there's no way to use gratitude in a tit for tat way. You can't bargain with it. You're not gonna like be grateful so you can get stuff. Like, that doesn't work. But being reminded not only that gratitude is essential for anything that you desire, but also being reminded that the universe is actually on our side, and that the only naturally arising relationship to any moment of existence is gratitude, if we're not clouded by something. If there's no pattern going on, if there's no part of me feeling ashamed or angry or whatever, then gratitude is, every moment is just like, oh my God, how beautiful, how wonderful, how amazing, how incredibly, impeccably designed this universe is to give us the next step in our evolution every single day, every single minute, every single second. It's incredible. And I think that, and so like gratitude is kind of a way of like not tricking yourself into recognizing that, but just reminding ourselves that that if we're feeling anything other than gratitude, there must be something that we're caught in, because otherwise gratitude would be the natural outgrowth of our experience. It's not something that we need to impose. We don't need to make ourselves feel grateful. That wouldn't work anyway. But just it can kind of be taken as like it's like looking at a gauge and being like, ooh, that's off. Because it's not in the natural flow state. So I think that's where I am today, folks. I'm just back to gratitude and, being willing to kind of look at these patterns and really sit with them and be grateful for them, even before I know what they're trying to tell me, even before I know what the answer is or how I'm going to get through this tough point or this sticking point. Just kind of recognizing, like, I know this is for me on some level. I know it's trying to help me. Even if it feels like it's just a shitty old feeling that makes me, whatever it is, kind of dragging me down. Like, there's something there there's something here that is for me. It's a gift. And just trying to live in that realization every day. So hope that's helpful. Check out the book. I do not know this woman. I am not plugging her book for any other reason other than it's good. Worthy by Nancy Levin. Definitely a rabbit hole. A good one. Thanks, folks. Love you. Talk to you.